recording, please keep your video off and your mic muted. Finally, as a point of order, we'll hold questions until the end of the meeting. However, I'll be monitoring the comment section throughout and sharing questions posted there with our speaker at the end. So with that, I'd like to give a quick overview of NAYGN for those who are newer to these events or need a bit of a refresher. We provide opportunities for young professionals in the nuclear community to excel and become the industry leaders of tomorrow. We do this through 4 primary pillars: professional development, public information, networking, and knowledge transfer. I'm here representing the Chalk River chapter. However, we have roughly 200 chapters all across North America. This event is focusing on the professional development pillar of our organization. Obviously, if you're attending a professional development webinar, this is something you personally care about. So I'll take a moment to mention some other resources within the community and our chapter, which you might be interested in. We'll be hosting our annual PEng licensing lunch and learn again this year. I'm working on a finalized date for this, but we're aiming for sometime in November. Keep an eye on our newsletter and LinkedIn for updates about that. If you'd like to join the newsletter, I've got some info about that coming up, or you can just email myself. I'd also like to plug the Chalk River Toastmasters Club. It's a great platform for practicing your public speaking and communication skills in a constructive environment. We meet every week over the Thursday lunch break. This week's meeting is vacation themed. So for more information about that club, feel free to email myself. Again, email on the screen. I'd also like to mention the CNL Informal Project Management Interest Group. As the name suggests, this is an informal venue for discussing project management, topics of interest, and developing the project management skills of individuals within the company. It's very flexible, open to aspiring and established project managers of all levels. I've entrusted the contact information for Brian McConnell, who helps organize these meetings. If you're interested in learning more or joining, feel free to reach out to him. Their next session is planned for September 9th and is comedically titled, "When Your Project Plan Turns Out to Have Been Debilitatingly Inaccurate." And interesting enough, these meetings are able to count for PDUs for anybody who is an established project manager. So maybe interesting there. Finally, if there is any project or professional development content you'd like to see, feel free to reach out. I'm open to suggestions. I'd love to try and bring in new speakers who are relevant to the PD goals of our community. More broadly, some events we're hoping to host over the upcoming months are a trivia night, a blood drive, nuclear science school outreach, tour of the Diefenbunker, tour of the Deep River Nuclear Heritage Museum. To keep up to date with these emails, email NAYGN, email on the screen there, to join our mailing list, and follow our LinkedIn page. So you can search that up there and you can find those resources. Finally, if you'd like to take on more of a leadership role, we do have several exciting openings within our leadership team. We're currently looking for a knowledge transfer chair who would help to develop and lead our school outreach program, as well as a social events and networking chair to help lead group activities. If you're looking to just dip your toes in the water, we're also always welcoming members at large to help with event planning under the direction of the chairs and to help brainstorm new events for us to offer our membership. If that sounds fun to you, email Gabrielle. Again, email on the screen for more info. With all that out of the way, I'm honored to introduce our distinguished speaker for today's session, Saeed. Saeed is a certified project management professional, PMP, and a PEng. He's registered in Ontario and is currently working with CH2M, which is a Jacobs engineering company, with a focus on managing projects of various complexity and sizes. Over the past 32 years, he's worked in both the private and public sectors all across the world. Very impressive resume. And more recently, he settled down in the Ottawa Valley. So he held senior and executive roles specializing in programs, project management, change management, contract negotiations, commercial finance, and business development. So we're in very good hands here to learn about project management from him. Saeed now works to enable the next generation of project management professionals through his role with the PMI, OVOC. Saeed currently serves as the Vice President of Programs for them and is the President-elect stepping into that role sometime in June of 2023. But without further ado, I will hand over the stage to Saeed. So I'll stop presenting and you can share there, Saeed.
Yeah, thank you very much, Dylan. Thank you. I'm really excited and thrilled to join this session. So much passion I can see in the audience. We are around like 90 attendees right now, more or
Yeah, I
less.
think we're
Yeah.
at about 95 right now.
Yeah, yeah, that's good. That's good. Thank you very much, everybody. Welcome on board. First of all, I thanks to Dylan to his like continuous efforts. I remember he approached us earlier this year, so we had like back and forth discussions on topics, and I really appreciate his determination and his passion to make a professional development a real thing for all you guys. So my aim is to just give you an overview of project management resources and how to get into that path. So I know there are a lot of resources, as Dylan has mentioned in his introduction. But from outside of organization, okay, what we have in there. So that's where I gonna be presenting some information that would be very much helpful for yourself. Excuse me. So first of all, we will see, okay, you know, you already know what's project management. The word by itself is explanatory. What PMI is, Project Management Institute is, how much support we are getting, what are the resources available with our chapter. And then I will discuss process flow of how to get a certification as PMP. That's very well known and widely accepted certification in the field of project management. So I'm just taking a definition, yourself already aware of that one. So project is something that is a temporary endeavor and its product or service is unique and it's for it has to be closed down. So if I say if a project is happening and it's not closing down, so what is that then? It is an operation. So the difference between operational activities and project is not a repetitive thing. It is a unique product, unique service, and it closed down. So that's the definition. So this definition is in Project Management Book of Knowledge that is known as PM book. So this is a version that I have quoted here. So updates are coming on this version. So this book normally we use, while going through PMP process, a certification process. So this book is the basic thing that we're gonna use. So project management is the use of specific knowledge, tools, techniques to deliver something that we discussed upper in upper paragraph. That's the project, and who will be doing that one is the project manager. So project manager who organizes plans and execute projects using the tools that are available within that organization to deliver the product or service that is aimed for that project that is given in the charter or in the initial scope of work. So these are the three things. Okay, one is the person who is managing thing. Second area is the tools and techniques, and third is the product. So we are getting the third item, like a product from our organizations. Okay, let's deliver this project, let's have this program, or let's have this bridge constructed, or let's, that kind of stuff. And then organizations are giving us tools and techniques to deliver that one. And being a project manager, organizations are also helping us, advance in our career. So it's not only their responsibility, this is our responsibility, being a project manager as well, to spend time to invest in ourselves. So investment comes from many ways, being a mentee, being a mentor, getting our latest tools and techniques available in the market. So that kind of stuff. So Project Management Institute, it was established in 1969, and we have currently over 700,000 members in over 300 countries worldwide. So the main aim is establishing this institute is that to lead the professional, you know, um, you know, professional association of the project management and authority for a growing global community because every day due to this rapid changing in world, new projects are coming. IT is progressing fast, so projects are everywhere. So Project Management Institute is trying to give the information, the tools and techniques in a very organized way to a PM. The concept is there, like scope management, cost management, time management, stakeholder management. So all that kind of stuff we are doing like every day in our personal life, we are doing in our professional life. But when we see PM book and, we will see an organization, okay, this has to be done because whenever we execute anything and there is no trail or no procedure, then there is danger. There are some downside that we may miss some point, that kind of stuff. So these are the three things that are given in the bullet points. PM empowers people to make ideas a reality through global advocacy, networking, collaboration, research, and education. And it also prepares organization and individuals to work smarter in ever-changing and dynamic world. So PMI is a for purpose of organization. It's all operations are based on volunteer basis. So I am also working in my local chapter as a volunteer. So I would love to give time to my colleagues that are members of this chapter. I'm also mentor in Ottawa area in my company as well. Whatever I have, I wanna give to my junior or like new professionals because I mean all leaders are coming among yourself. I mean that's our future. So that's where we need to spend some time and spend our energies to hand over stuff that we have learned to the next generation. So as we mentioned in the previous slides, in more than 300 countries, and every country has different chapters. So in Canada, we have 6 main chapters. Uh, I mean, in North America, we have more than like 15 or 20, but in Canada, we have 6, and Ottawa is probably it's the second biggest chapter, second or third biggest chapter from membership number of membership perspective. So and we have a lot of resources. So I have just given a screenshot of the information available on our website. This is the link, and this presentation will be available. Dylan has put together in the main presentation, so it can be used to access these resources. So yourself can see, okay, how this is the soft skill kind of thing that a project manager needs to have life cycle methodologies, measurements, PM exam resources, portfolio, professional and ethics. This is the main basic thing that we are working around. Like all that kind of stuff, quality management, risk management, these are the separate areas that are a lot that have a lot of resources in here. So when somebody is getting, a membership or doing a PMP or any other certification, so the resources are there. So we are not leaving a professional while they are certified without any support. So they will have a continuous support on that. PMI has 8 certifications. So these are given, might be it's not visible, so I can read them. PMP, CAPMP, Program Management, Portfolio Management, PMI, EACP, PBA, Risk Management, and SP. Some are very popular. So one of the popular is the PMP that I also holding this certification. So these are the certifications available, and these are very well recognized in the field of management in the industry. A person who has like two persons having the same qualifications, same experience, but one person has PMP, employer may think, okay, yeah, this guy has that certification, it has backing, it has resources. Like whenever somebody is getting a PMP certification, he or she will have to maintain that certification. So in order to maintain that certification, professional development units are required. So it means you are continuously updating yourself. So that's a positive aspect that employers are looking at. So what I'm gonna do is I will walk you through the steps how to get the PMP certification. So before that one, if there is any question, any comment, so I would like to hear. Is there any comment in chat box, Dylan?
Nothing from chat yet, but
Okay,
if you do have questions for us, we can save them in chat and we can ask those at the end maybe.
okay, excellent. Thank you. So I'm going to start, okay, how this PMP certification can be like the process can be started. So these set of slides were prepared internally by our chapter, by one of my colleagues. So I will be running through this one. First of all, we need to have like step zero is to have your intention to plan it. Do I need to have certification? What benefit I will be getting? That's the step zero. Step one is okay, going to trying to find the resources. So that's the step one. But step zero is okay, do I need to invest myself? I believe most of organizations are sponsoring these kind of certifications to their willing employees who are going for this certification. So check with your internally if they have, that would be great. Otherwise, it's worth, having investment as a project manager. I know you guys have started working on this, and this is very exciting role being a PM. Whatever our background is, if I'm civil engineer, electrical, or INC, or whoever, if I have passion working with people, with team, making the things happen. So that also carries a lot of challenges. So then that's the right way to do that one. So the first step is, okay, apply. We need to apply for that. So what includes in the application is we need to check the requirements. Okay, so project management and experience and education requirement. And second step is take your PMP exam. So there are different formats of exam. It's online, you can go in person. And third is maintaining your certification. So when we are talking these three steps, we will go through all three steps. So I would just want to mention the last step is maintain your certification. So maintaining is the part where our employer or organization where we are working, they normally run different courses, different refresher courses or training courses that can help you getting PDUs, professional development units to maintain your certification. If not, PMI local chapter always like any local chapter to Toronto or to Durham or to any chapter, they have a lot of resources like we have here in Ottawa. So a person who has PMP certificate, he or she shouldn't be bothering or because right now In our chapter, we are offering 3 webinars per month. 2 webinars are happening on Saturdays. It's 1 hour webinar. And 1 webinar is happening on Lunch and Learn as of today that we are doing on Wednesdays. So it means 3 PDUs per month. That will make, we are not taking any break except maybe a couple of weeks in a year. So at least like in a year, we're gonna get like 30 to 35 PDUs. And in 2 years or 3 years, we are qualified. We need 60 PDUs for PMP to maintain the certification of PMP. Okay, so eligibility. So that's the first thing. Okay, step 0 was, okay, am I going to do that? Am I determined? Am I willing to do this one? That's a step 0. Step 1 is, okay, am I eligible? Okay, if I have a 4-year degree, so what I need then? If I don't have 4-year degree, but I have a diploma or associate degree, so what I need to do? So these are the 2 options. Okay, in case of I have 4-year degree, so I need 36 months of experience and 35 hours of, it's a contact hours or education hours that can come from anywhere if you have done in your very recent or in a certain period, I believe, some courses or some subjects that are qualified for the project management 35 hours that could be used. Otherwise, there are many certified and approved education providers that can provide these hours. So the basic requirement is experience plus 35 hours. So experience might be changing for if we have 4-year degree, then it's 36 months. If we don't have 4-year degree, then it's 60 months. That's around 5 years of experience. So once that's done, so it means I'm eligible. I can apply for PMP certification. Second step is experience and training, whatever I have done in 36 months or 60 months. What I have done, I need to put on the like application. Where I have worked, what was my role and responsibility, um, I mean, duration of the project. So that's the important thing I will talk in the next slide is sometime a PM worked on 3 projects at the same time. So how that will be resolved. So stuff like that we will discuss in the next slide. The training you have completed, this is related to these 35 hours. Okay, which courses were and how many qualifying hours are. So this is the information that we need to gather. So here is the example that I was talking about. Um, So I'm a PM and I have worked on, for example, 3 projects in particular time frame, and 2 projects are overlapping, but it will be considered these 4 months will be considered not 8 months for being 2 projects or 7 months. It will be just 4 months. So tenure is tracked in months, not number of projects. Therefore, 6 months of project management experience should be noted as such, regardless of how many projects I have worked during that 6 months. Maybe I have another small projects here or a small project here. So in this 6 month, if I worked 1 project or 3 project or 10 project, it would be considered as like 6 months. It won't be like duplicated or, counted with the number of projects. I think it's pretty simple. So, but if I am having another project after that project is completed and there is no overlap, that would be considered a separate time frame or time that I can include in towards my 36 months or towards 60 months experience that is required. Okay, so step 3 is in the application. So first thing is application checklist. Checklist is given there. There is a paper. So you can tick mark, okay, have I done my courses or my experience, all the information I have provided that one. So there is a list on this link. So you guys can just walk that through and see. It's pretty simple, self-explanatory. So you will need a pmi.org account to kick the process off. Have all the information you have gathered from step two. Um, and then what? Your application will be reviewed once you have applied that one. So you won't get at that time yes or no. It will take some time. I don't remember right now, maybe a week or couple of weeks. You will be get notification that your application will be reviewed. And if it's successful, then you will pay the exam fees. So if it is like something is missing, something is not correctly entered, so it will be coming back with some objection and saying, okay, could you please adjust this one or remove this one or provide answer to this question? So member price is 405 US dollars. So right now our Canadian is I think 1.3, 1.32, something like that of US dollar. So you can convert into that local currency, and non-member fee is triple five. So what I have done like in 2006 or seven, I did my PMP. So I did get the membership. That the membership is I think $140, I believe, if I'm not wrong. Even if you add up that one with this member price, it looks like it will be less than this. So there is an advantage to get the membership and then pay the discounted fee. This is just a tip. It's not mandatory. It's up to personal choice. So once we pay the fee, then we would be able to take the exam, but before taking the exam, we need to schedule it. So we can see, I mean, there is a link there where we can see, okay, what's the process to book the exam? There are different centers close to your location or, online stuff. So we can do that one. So once I have submitted my application, it is reviewed and approved. I paid my dues, being a member or being a non-member, and then I can book my or schedule my test online or in person, whatever the case is. Now, here on this slide, we are talking about rescheduling or canceling our appointment. So this is very important to understand. I mean, first thing is we can cancel within 48 hours of our exam. I mean, then there is probably no fee if we are canceling before that one. If we are, you will not be able to cancel your appointment and you will forfeit the exam if you do not show up. That's another extreme. So you will not be able to reschedule your appointment at this point, and you need to pay associated re-examination fee to schedule a new exam. So we need to be mentally prepared when I'm ready to take the exam. So once your application is approved, you paid the fee. I believe there is a timeline within 1 year or within 2 years, we need to take the exam. So that's where I consider that we need to take a little time to make ourselves ready for the exam. Okay, if I already started like preparing for this exam, and then I'm just like scheduling my exam, okay, go ahead. If I'm doing in parallel, I'm preparing it, I'm scheduling it, then just make sure you are ready to take the exam. And there are many ways, there are many approved organizations that are helping prepare. And sometimes people are doing by themselves. Like it depends on the personal choice and, time availability, that kind of stuff. So there is an example given here in this table. Uh, for example, date of exam appointment is 5th of May. So the date we can reschedule or cancel is like 30 days before on 4th of April without any fee. And if we're gonna do it like less than 30 days, so there will be a charge of $70. So it means if I reschedule or cancel, so I will be charged by this amount. I need to like pay the rest of money. 48-hour policy is before May 5th, and this is the time given on 3rd May. Again, $70. But if I'm not able to do within that time slot, I will forfeit the entire exam fee. Yeah, so that's the important thing. Rescheduling or cancellation of my scheduled test. So here I'm just going to share some useful links. In the next slide, the same links are there. PMI membership that I mentioned earlier, I think it's $149. It's the US dollars again. Okay, so this is the link for certification. Okay, that's the link. Okay, how it goes. So that link. So all that links are there. So we can go and check and take our time to go through all the information. And similarly, this is for exam preparation and maintaining and continued certification requirements, all that stuff that we need once we are certified as PMP. Then all this information, that would be very much like interesting things that you can see if you have delivered something um, inside your company, something about project management, on quality management, or anything like related to your project, you can claim that like similar hours as continuing education, category. There are different categories. So we have category of volunteership, we have category of continuing education, even your work in that organization as a PM will be considered towards getting some PDUs at the end of year. I think there is a limit of that, 5 or something. I don't remember. So end of year, I will claim that one. So we can claim that one to keep our certification continued. Um, yeah, so that's all. I have just quickly gone through all the process. I know without going through by themselves, sometimes we don't know what questions are there, but we are here to help you. We are all volunteers, and we are happy to help you in progressing your uh, career as a project manager. We have webinars. We can support you filling out the application if there is any question, any issue. We can be reached. I have my email address, or from website, we have our contact. So just throw an email, send us some question. So we would be happy to answer that. So Dylan, I know we have time left. So any questions, so we can open up forum for any questions?
Sure. So I took a list of questions throughout. So I'll start with
Excellent.
those, and then maybe once we've made it through all of the questions I have written up, if people want to ask one in person, they can raise their hand, and then I'll call on them to present their question if
Yeah.
that's something they'd like to do. So I'll start with the ones that I've got from chat here. So is there an annual test done to upkeep your PMP certification, or is it bi-yearly? So I think it's about maintaining your certification. I know you touched on the PDU system, so maybe we could talk through that again.
Yeah, you are right. It's a very important question. I mean, once somebody is getting a product or a qualification or certification, so he or she should know, okay, how are I going to maintain that one? I mean, we need to be very much clear. So it's not an exam. It is a continuous learning for 3 years. So the renewal period is 3 years. If I got my certification in 2022, So my renewal period will be 2025. I need to accumulate 60 PDUs during this 3-year cycle. So 60 PDUs mean 60 hours of like different categories of my professional development units. It could be a webinar, it could be a discussion, it could be a speech, it could be, your own learning. You learned or you completed a course that was worth of 2 hours. So to answer your question is it is based on the PDU basis. You might collect 60 PDUs in 1.5 year or 1 year. So the rest is okay. You will get your renewal automatically at the end of cycle. You might get PDUs in the last year. For first 2 years, you are just struggling or trying to find, you couldn't find time or do that things. So it could be at the last year, but 60 PDUs should be within 3 years. So is that did I answer the question or any follow-up?
Yes,
Yeah,
you did. Thank you. Thank you very much. You did.
So,
You're welcome.
and yeah, I guess just to kind of touch base there, how do you decide if something is, how does something get certified as a counting towards a PDU? So let's say I'm a professional engineer and I do something to maintain that license. Does that qualify for professional development units? What's the process for getting those approved for that?
Yeah, so there are different categories listed on the PMI website. The link is given there. So that categories speaks by itself. Okay, if I have like completed a course on quality management, for example, so that course was like 3 hours course that I completed in 3 weeks, like half hour, 1 hour. So I can claim that three hours for that one. So any activity that qualifies as per the list given in the PDUs different categories. So we can claim it, and it's easy to claim it. Go on the site, open it, add the name of course you have done or webinar, attended webinar in PMI ODWAP chapter, 1 hour, that was the title, and claim for 1 hour. Yeah.
Awesome. Perfect. Oh, that's good to know. I've got one from somebody concerned with relevant experience, and this is for the trades. So the question is, in regards to eligibility, in which category does a Red Seal trade certification fall under? The 36 or 60-month requirement? Also, does the number of years that you have had that certification account for any of the requirements? So
Yeah,
two
so there are
questions
two.
there.
Yeah, so yeah, good question. So there are two parts. One is the experience thing, and second thing is the 36 hours. So experience is like the category is if somebody has 4 years degree, so then it's the 36 months. And if somebody has like some other way, not 4-year degree, so it's a 60 months. So if I understand the question correctly, is related to the second part where 60 months experience is there.
I'll call on, I think it's Jason who sent in that question. Jason, are you still on the line? Or in the meeting? And if so, maybe you can clarify there, just to make sure we're answering your question.
Yeah, I am still on the line.
Awesome.
So I guess, just 1 second. In regard, like in Manitoba specifically, it's a 4-year or a 5-year college degree to get your Red Seal certification in the trade that I'm in. Would that fall under your 4-year degree for the 36 months, or is this the 60-month qualification category?
I believe from my perspective, it's 60 months, but I can check with my professional development guys. They can certainly answer more specifically. But in my opinion, if it's not 4-year degree, so whatever certification you have, that might fall under 60 months experience.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Now, I saw one just come in that's kind of a quick tangent to that, so I'll cover that one before moving on to some of the other ones, kind of
sure.
switching topics. So in addition, what if someone has a 3-year BA but you also have a 2-year diploma at a community college. So you got 5 years of schooling, but 2 different degrees there. Does that mean that you would only fall under the 60-month?
I believe so. But again, I can get it further clarified from our professional development, guys who are really working on day-to-day basis on this one. I can certainly provide you further response to Dylan, and
Awesome.
we can pass it on to our colleagues. Yeah.
Okay, awesome. Would that be pd@pmiovOC.ca? Or I can maybe clarify that. We can get that one later.
Yeah.
Okay. I will write that down just as a reminder.
Yeah.
Good questions, guys. While I'm writing that down, I'll start our next one. This is about study hours. So for the 35 hours required, can that be self-studied materials, or does it have to be official courses or lessons?
I think this has to be official courses.
Okay.
Yeah.
I hope that answered your question, Ali. If it didn't, maybe pipe up, or if it did, then give me a thumbs up if you're still in the chat.
Yes, self-study is considered towards PDU, but there is a limitation on that one. I think self-study has some limit on the PDUs. Like in maintaining your certification, self-study is the one category. But for 35, it has to be from approved.
Okay, perfect. Good to know.
Thank you.
Awesome.
welcome.
Yeah, that answered you there, Ali.
Yes, it did. Thank you very much.
Yep, you're very welcome. So this one is about comparing some certifications. So you may be a bit biased here, but what is the best to have, a PMP or a LSS black belt certification? What's the difference between both?
Honestly, I don't know. PMP I can talk about a lot. For LLS, if it would be good to educate us what is exactly that certification is, I can certainly connect them.
Okay, sure. I've got one here in chat from Katerina. Is there an additional fees associated with the 3-year renewal, or are there is the annual fee associated with membership?
No annual fee is associated. It's a 3 years renewal is that's probably $60 something.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, I'm
Awesome.
not sure about the fee amount. It may be a little more or less, but there is a fee associated with that. Yeah.
Okay, good to know. I'm seeing one here again. How do you know which version of the PMBOK you are to study for at the time of your exam? Example, if you plan to write the exam within the next 6 months, what version of the PMBOK should you be getting?
Yeah, so these versions are not coming very frequently every month or every 2 months or every quarter. So these are coming really in a good span of time. So the latest version would be available on PMI website. So if you are getting the membership, that's another benefit of getting membership of PMI, that you will get the latest version of PM book from the website. And you will be entitled to get it whenever there will be additional or change or new revision is available. You will be able to get that one.
Awesome. And do you get a paper copy, or is it just a digital download? Or
It's just a digital download. I think printing is because it's a password protected to that particular member. I'm not
awesome.
sure if that's print protected, but I don't know about printing. I never printed because there are so huge number of pages. So yeah.
Awesome. So I got a question here. If someone takes the exam, fails, and resubmits to take the exam, is there a discounted rate, or is the full cost of the exam still applied?
I think there is a discount. I don't know how much, but there is. I think it won't be retaking is not the same as early.
Okay, good to know. And I've got one about relevant experience. How do I know if my experience fits as project management experience? I manage fieldwork, but I wouldn't consider myself a project manager. Is there a resource within the PMI OVOC who can review my experience record? Who would that be? Who would I reach out to to see, am I a project manager by definition right now? Is the experience I'm getting right now relevant?
Yeah, so I can answer the second part of this question is yes, you are most welcome to approach to me. I mean, I can certainly direct to yourself to the relevant person internally who can review your stuff and they can tell you. But from my perspective, I mean, project manager is not something, a title. It is something, it's not a noun, it's a verb, like what we are doing. So that's the, like, if I'm managing my home, my kitchen, I am managing that thing. So if there is a like small endeavor, okay, I'm gonna cook something today, different thing. How I gonna manage that one? All the recipe, things, vegetable and all that kind of stuff I'm putting together. So that is the management as a very low level, not low level, as a different level. So I mean, it's not a noun if I am a project manager by title, but I'm not doing anything. But somebody who's whatever is doing, I mean, project management is vast area. It is covering almost our like everything, our personal lives and everything. But when we are talking about project management, so then it has to be more like from professional perspective, a trade or a design or a construction building or a software development. So there are different products. So if that definition is there, okay, we are doing something temporary and it is a unique and there is a time bound, so that's a project. And if I have managed that one, so I'm a project manager.
Perfect. Well, that's an easy definition there.
Yeah.
Now, you mentioned that people could reach out to yourself. Are you fine with me sharing your PMI OVOC email in the chat here in
Yeah,
case somebody does want to reach out?
Yeah,
Perfect.
sure.
I figured I'd double check. So you're to
Thanks for
blame if
asking
your
them, yeah.
email box gets blown up.
We would be happy to support our colleagues. I mean, who wants to progress in this career, we would be
Awesome.
more than welcome.
Awesome. And as a final follow-up on that one, are there templates available for what to include in the experience record? Is there something I can find online? Is there something on your website? Is there something you could share?
I think in the application, it is mentioned there, okay, what you need to provide is, okay, what was your role, what you have done, what was the period from this to this, what was the deliverable. So it is there, but certainly, I mean, if we just Google it, we can find many examples. People has shared their knowledge. Yeah, we can find it.
Okay, perfect. I'll move on to another one here from Tiffany in regards to the qualification requirements. If you have the hours, but the experience is scattered all the way back to 2008, is there a limit on how far you can reach back for those hours that you've accumulated? So maybe I did it, I took a career break, now I've got some hours here. Can I put together a patchwork?
No, I think it could be used that one because it doesn't say that I need to have a continuous experience. It says I need to have 36 months of experience. So 36 months may go in my last 5 years or, in 3 years or something like that's my understanding is.
Awesome. I hope that answers your question, Tiffany. Maybe you can give me a thumbs up or something. Oh, and one more there. Do you need letters of support for your experience? Do you have to get something from your manager?
I think probably readily not. Maybe if it is being asked during the review of that application, maybe, but not during the application.
Okay, awesome. I hope that answers all your questions there, Tiffany. Does anybody else have any questions? I guess I can maybe take some people to ask them live if you'd rather than typing it out. If there's something maybe a bit wordy. If not, maybe I'll put up a just getting some excellent presentation and lots of great info. Thanks so much. Maybe could you put up the last slide with some with your contact information again, if somebody wanted to reach out? I think I've got it here too. Perfect. So yeah, there again, Just membership at,
Sorry, just 1 minute. Yeah, so this is about the membership, but probably asking any question on professional development or, PMP exam. So it's better to approach me at programs@pmioac.org.
awesome.
So I will write it here.
Awesome. And I do see a hand up in the chat there.
Yeah.
So maybe that's another question we've got
Yeah.
after we get that bit. So I think it's Janelle, if you
Right.
can, awesome.
Today
I-
we
I-
focus. Oh, go
I
ahead.
can send that in chat if you'd rather, Saeed. So I can send that in chat if you'd like.
Yeah, I can write it here as well. So, yeah.
Oh, perfect.
So today we focused on the PMP designation, and I think that's the most well-known of the designations. You touched briefly at the beginning of this presentation on the others, CA, PM, PG, MP.
Yeah.
I think there was even a link in the slideshow, but a quick
Yeah.
Google search of mine didn't turn up much. Could you just touch on those and why might one person choose one over the other?
Yeah, it depends. Like, I can tell you example between like portfolio management, program management, and PMP, risk management. So you can see PMP is more broader. That is like covering everything. So versus risk management. So risk management is very particular. If one of us, of yourself or myself, is like supporting my organization on projects on focusing on risks, I'm doing like risk management things. So yeah, going for risk management would be great. If I'm doing like overall project management, that includes quality, communication, stakeholders, scope, time, cost, all that kind of stuff, then I will go for PMP. And similarly for program management, that's more like a little step earlier, not like earlier, it's a higher step where I have managed multiple projects, a program of my organization. So that is total different area. So it is not like competing to each other. It is like different area, focusing in different areas.
Okay, so do you think that the PMP is a starting point and then you get additional ones or you choose one over the other? Like I'm hearing.
Yeah, I mean, it depends. Like one of my colleague, he did a risk management, certification. I did project management. So he was more focused on one area of project management. He just wanted to support the project, just focusing, being specialized in that area. So I was doing like a work overall project. Okay, risk management is part of that one. So it depends, I mean, on the need. It depends on the personal choice. It depends on where you feel like comfortable. Okay, I just want to grab, overall thing, or I just focus on one area, so that's where my understanding is.
Okay, so
So
you'd
there
have to
is
read
no,
about the designations and make a decision about which one is the best for
yeah,
you.
so the PMP is more widely noted because it's covering everything.
Right.
Sometimes risk management, okay, some company does not focus on that one. They think, okay, our PMP will take care of that one. But if in certain areas, certain businesses like insurance or something, they might be willing to hire only management professionals instead of PMP because they are dealing day-to-day risks, okay, for insurance of vehicles or homes or a lot of other stuff. So that's where it depends on type of business.
Okay, I see. I just before I let you go here,
Yeah.
the CAPM, that's some associate designation. From what I can tell, it seems sort of like a, if the PMP is grade 1, then the CAPM is kindergarten, so to speak. Is that like an accurate impression I have here?
I wouldn't say like so big difference, but there is a difference, like as a
Yeah.
startup or like in the initial stage and then a little bit, at higher level. Yeah.
Okay, so somebody making a pivot into project management versus somebody who already has experience, that might be a more appropriate certification for them.
Exactly.
Are there other designations that kind of have that relationship where you step up into one?
Like program management is like a step on top of PMP.
Okay.
I mean, I'm doing like multiple projects. I can go for program management, but my company doesn't have appetite for that. They are saying, okay, you are doing well. I mean, it won't give you any advantage, but for my personal perspective, if I'm more interested, have that one. So that's okay. But yeah, so that's a difference, a little bit difference in there.
Okay, thanks. I have a clearer
Yeah.
picture. Thank you.
You're welcome. Yeah, I see one hand, already. Yeah, Dario?
Yes,
Go
hello,
ahead,
good
please.
afternoon, Dario.
Dario, sorry for that. Yeah.
No problem. Thanks for the presentation. I really appreciate it. My question is, let's, for an example, if I washed windows every day as my career, as my job, and I started taking PMP online courses after my work shift. When I'm completed my PMP, let's say it takes me 3 or 4 years to complete all my courses. At that point, do I then have to quit my window washing job and find a position as a junior project manager in the management position, work there for 60 months, and then write my exam after getting that 60 months worth of experience? Is that the way that is that the process you would say, or how would you simplify the process for me?
I mean, the experience, what I understood from your question is, I mean, how we are getting benefit of the experience towards this certification. I mean, if somebody is doing a certain kind of work for certain period, so would that be like counted towards 60 months,
No, so
experience?
let's say I washed windows. I have nothing to do with project management, right? I'm just
Okay.
washing windows every day. But while I'm washing windows and life is happening, I want to start taking part-time courses after my work shift. So I'm taking these courses. Eventually, time comes around where I've completed all my courses. Now is the point in my life where I have to start to actually gain real world experience.
Yeah.
So would I be expected, I guess the next stage would be to quit my window washing job and then find a project management related job, get that position, and then start building, let's say, my 60 months worth of experience on junior projects. And then once I
Okay.
gain that experience, then I can go and write the exam?
Yeah, I got your point. Yeah, thanks for
Okay.
that. So, I mean, so while washing windows, you have completed your 35 hours of contact hours, right? So that's required. Now, washing window, I don't know how vast is this work is. It is just like doing one element of work, or somebody who's dealing with windows of a big multi-story building. So that's a project. I mean, if somebody is overseeing that one, so that might be counted. Okay, I have done these projects for high-rise buildings for cleaning windows through this much labor force. We had a schedule. We need to deliver this product or service within this time frame. But if that's not the case, I mean, then probably needs to attach with similar project, or where you can define things. Okay, how I delivered the service or product, quality perspective, scope perspective, time constraints, cost, so touching that 9-10 areas of project management from that perspective. So, and how you manage the people, how you work with the team. So, and you have your hours already done. Like I have hours, 35 hours done while I was washing windows. And then I attached to some PM as a assistant PM or supporting, a little bigger picture. So yeah. So then that would be considered.
Okay, thank you.
So I'm just seeing the time here. We are past the hour. I'll
Yeah.
give you the option, Saeed, if you'd like to stay on and answer a couple more. I know you're a busy guy, so If you need to leave for some of your other stuff, I appreciate your time. If
No,
you'd
no, I am
like,
here. I am here. I can stay. I mean, there is no issue. I mean, we have our colleagues. I would like to have a if people can open their cameras, we can have a picture together.